All right.
Ready? Check your load.
Yeah.
Look at the exit. You don't want to go that way, that's for sure.
No, not through.
That's glass.
It actually feels like actual glass. How's it going out there?
We're good.
Good.
All right, guys. Was that Kitty?
I told him to call me Jeeves, you know, or like a butler or something, you know, or like a driver, so
heck yeah.
I'm transporting.
Welcome to
see.
Track Walk
When was the last time you were at
I'm your host,
at this track?
Eric Boyce.
Oh, good question.
My co-hosts today are Brett McCowan. He's
I don't know.
currently also our
I get here every so often though.
Alan Weed, who is our current driver slash chauffeur.
I did a track day with somebody this
and
summer.
we have a special co-host, Randy Pobst.
Dude, that was my idea.
Alan doesn't know how to get to pit lane quickly, or else we would already be on pit lane.
Slow down.
Morning.
Eric, not a good sign.
Are the batteries almost dead?
Yep. This is a short trip. Where are we supposed to park this thing when the batteries are dead?
On the left by this orange and green RX-7.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, I wish we had ours. It's not ready.
Well, stop by later.
Right over here on this.
Left side, left side, left side, left side.
Yeah, well, he's backing up. Are you backing up?
I saw danger.
Yeah.
Hey, Asshole, good morning. How are you, Asshole?
It's out of batteries. It's out of batteries, man.
Jersey Mike, hey guys, good morning.
It's out of batteries.
You got the brake on, number one.
Oh.
Brake. There you go.
Oh, the brake was on. Maybe the battery was on.
Eric.
I bet you the batteries work now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's not in the green. No, it's full. Yeah.
All right, let's try it. That's great. It's been a while since I've done that. Of course, I've never driven this thing.
Chauffeur can now drive with the brake.
All right.
Take it right after the Audi, Alan.
Got it.
So, hey, Randy.
Yeah.
As we're heading out on here in the pit lane, you want to give us a little introduction about yourself, please?
Myself?
Yeah.
Okay. From Thunderhill Raceway, I'm Randy Pobst for Lucky Dog Racing League. I've been racing my whole life. I had factory driving contracts with Porsche, Audi, Volvo, and Mazda, and I still love it, and that's what I love about Lucky Dog. People let me drive their cars. We've got like 100 cars here for a 14-hour race on the big 5-mile track. This is the Nürburgring of North America at Thunderhill. We combined both the road courses. It's a gorgeous morning. The weather for racing is perfect. It's going to be up into the mid-60s, and it's only in the 50s, but I'm dressed like it's 10 below zero because I'm raised in Florida. So let's go racing. We're going to have a look at some of this track right now, especially the crossovers, because that's a part that people don't get to drive very often. It's unusual to get to do the 5-mile. How's that?
Thank you.
Perfect. So when was the crossover put in?
Let's see which
don't know.
crossover Alan chooses.
I'm not good on
two to
history.
the right that you can see.
But the other course hasn't been there all that long. 5 years?
So we want to go straight across and then cut up that way?
Yeah, I would.
All right, sounds good.
Whoa, dig that curb. I can remember that if somebody pulls in on me, I could ride the curb.
It doesn't look that bad, does it?
No, it doesn't look that bad. I never look over there. Wow, somebody's spun across there. They must have been going the other way. They run this track both directions.
Do they? I don't know.
Well, that looked like it.
It did.
I don't know how the hell you get there going like this.
Right.
Going this way.
You must have really messed up
He
coming
must
through
have
there.
really messed up. Let's see now, that's turn 8, isn't it?
Looks like it.
We should have our numbers down for this. All right, are we filming?
Yes, we are.
We're good.
I can talk this.
Yeah.
Go ahead and talk all you want.
Can you guys confirm this is turn 8?
This is turn 8.
It's his turn.
Okay, we are heading to the fastest corner on the track, turn 8. It's flat in a slow car, and it will rock your world in a fast car. It's a little bit uphill. You don't want to drop a wheel on the inside, but you want to, if you're going to do any slowing down, do it before you get to the turn in for turn 8. You want to go through this corner under a little bit of power to make your car nice and stable. It's a bit of a drop off on the inside. Do not get your wheels inside that drop off. There's a lot of runoff on the exit that is very, very helpful. You can use this pavement on the track out either every lap just for good speed, or maybe save it just for when you really need it, because this Lucky Dog race is 14 hours and it's not about speed, it's about endurance. You got to make sure you're there at the end. You can see the lurid skid marks of people who got it wrong.
So you talk about skid marks and getting it wrong. I'm kind of curious, what would be one of your most memorable things from Thunderhill in any event that you've raced here?
Well, the most memorable is winning at the NASA 25 Hours of Thunderhill. We've won overall there with a couple different teams. One was Davidson Racing and a Norma prototype.
Very nice.
And it took several attempts to pull that off. And another was I ran with an old friend of mine, Kim Hiskey, a woman, in a Porsche 911 RSR air-cooled from the 90s. And also the first time I went to the top of this hill was a memorable experience, and it is for almost everybody. We're in the connector. It's kind of quick on the way in. Don't track out too far, because this blind corner on top of the hill here is a hard left. And if you're not slowing down for it, you're going for a ride, and almost everybody does. So when you're going up the hill for the connector, get all the way right. We've got a cone up there right now, and get ready for a hard left, not unlike the corkscrew at Laguna. It's that tight.
Yeah.
It's low in third gear, maybe even second gear. And there's some kind of unfriendly divots on the outside. And so you get slowed down and then take off through the bowl. If you're turning tight enough, it'll give you more traction. And then you pop over the hill. This is a good place to look for your flags on top of the hill because it's blind. Over the hill for a downhill wiggle. Your car's going to accelerate like never before because it's steep downhill. You stay all the way left to set up for a tricky kink back to the right as you join the west course. This kink is tricky because it goes over a crest and it's a little bit off camber, so the grip's not good here. You want to apex a little bit late, stay close to this inside edge where the paint is worn off, because the car really wants to run wide on the exit. But you want a good run here because the car accelerates so quickly going downhill. This is actually a fairly long acceleration zone as Thunderhill 5 Mile goes, so it's important to get a good run down this hill for your lap time. And we're heading for another really tricky kink. This is just a quick left. Carry a lot of speed, and it's got a really wide curb on the inside. So you go far right. It's a moderate brake zone. This is actually a pretty good passing point if you got a good handling car and can carry a lot of speed through this kink to the left. So you set up all the way right, and you use all of this inside curb. It used to be a big honking airborne jump, but they've cut it down, and you can use just about all of this. Sneak up on it, but if your car's okay on that curb, you can carry a ton of speed through this kink. And it's a transition immediately back to the right. Use all of this curb, very low. It really just widens the racetrack is all it does. And we come into this amazing decreasing radius left-hander, uphill on the way in, but look out, it's tightening up on you. You don't want to be all the way left because you want to be set up to the right. And you don't want to be all the way right because that doesn't really pay off either. You kind of go 2/3, 3/4 to the right. And great trail brake corner. You slow down, keep the weight on the nose, get the front of the car into that inside curb, use all of it. Late apex, late apex, then track out across the road directly into the morning sun here. Use all that curb on the right. It's mild. And you accelerate across the track, setting up for these super cool fast S's. Everybody talks about the West course being tighter. I don't know about, it's not tight here, but it's windy, Nürburgring, fast offsets. Turn in for this first entry to the S's, apex late, because this decreases as well and you're going real good speed here, maybe 4th gear, and then use all of the curbs on the right and then all of it on the left, and then late apex the last bit of this S on the right. Going back downhill, you are moving by the time you get here, lots of speed. You want to apex late, like this little puddle here. Do not go in that hole, but be right next to it. And that's only going to get worse the whole race. Don't drop wheels. You can break things and it can crash you. Now we got a brake zone. Tricky passing because it's a short brake zone. Another decreasing radius corner. This is a long sweeper. Bring it in pretty early. That's why that curb's there on the inside, driver's left. So bring your car down to this inside curb. Check out your flag station with one piece of your mind to be aware because it's blind. Somebody could be spun out over this hill. Come in fast. Be patient on the throttle. Apex late. Almost to the flag station. Back on the power. You track out before you can see it. You got to get to know this blind corner. Use all of this curb on the right. And now you're heading across the track at an angle into a giant brake zone. This is a big brake zone. You got a lot of speed here. You got a lot of braking to do. It's got 90-degree left onto the longest straightaway of the west course portion. So you brake straight across the track. The track is curving, but you go at an angle across the track all the way to the right side. Use every bit of the pavement. This is an important corner. It leads on a long straight. Turn left, a little bit patient, keep the weight on the nose, use all of that inside curve, and then accelerate up the hill on the straightaway up the west course side. Because we're on the 5 mile, I don't have any idea what the turn numbers are at this point. I think we're in turn 21 or 22 or something, I'm not kidding. And we stay to the right, and we're just running down this straightaway. If you got car trouble, this west course pit exit is an excellent place to pull off safe, be able to work on your car, and get towed back to the paddock. Remember that.
So I have a couple questions for you. They're all motorsports related. What do you remember first about motorsport? What's your first memory of motorsport and relating to you? Like any story, any like as a 5-year-old you went to see the IndyCar or F1 race or something like that? Like, do you have something like your first memory?
You know what? I never went to a race as a kid, but I raced in my basement. Those are my earliest memories. I know I loved playing with cars from the very, very beginning. My mother used to say I was born with a toy car in my hand.
that can be motorsport.
But because I loved cars, my brother and I ran HO cars, which were little electric
slot cars, yeah.
Slot cars, little ones. And my dear old dad was so generous with us. He built a big kind of ping pong table sized track, and we would do lap times. We'd keep records on the cars and try to set lap records.
No matter what anyone says, slot car racing is motorsport because that's the first motorsport that really got me in was slot car racing.
Oh, really? The real ones, the big ones?
So I primarily raced in the 124 scale stuff.
Yeah.
That even as a 12th grader, I think, I I entered a national competition and got third.
Wow, well done. That was like old school sim.
Yes. So my second question is, what's your first memory of your first motorsport event, your first actual race? It can be autocross, time trials. What's your first experience of your very first event?
Well, I got hit in the head with a sledgehammer. I found my passion. I hope this happens for everyone. And it was at an autocross. I was 19 years old, and I had a Datsun 510 two-door because I thought it was cool looking. I liked the corners. I was not a big horsepower guy. I didn't want a jacked up Chevelle. I liked sporty cars and going around corners. And I saw an ad for an autocross that said, race your own car, $5. Now it's like 50, but it's still cheap motorsport.
Oh yeah.
In 1977, $5 was a lot of money, especially to me.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I actually went and watched an autocross first. And the second time I watched again, but they had fun runs. $1 a run, you could go run your car. And I had my 510. And I didn't know anything. But I wanted to do it well. I studied the course. Even though I'd never done this before, I'm not that smart, but I was smart enough to know I want to know where I'm going. So autocross is racing through a pylon course in a big parking lot for time.
Yep.
We're only going 45, 50 miles an hour at the most, probably average 30. But you're on the clock. So I left the line and I'm driving as fast as I can. Autocross is quick. It's like slalom skiing with your car. And I was so wound up, I was pounding the dash on the straightaways for more power. And I just got bit so hard because running for time, going as fast as you can. Even though I liked zooming through corners, I was a 19-year-old. It was never on the clock.
Yeah.
You didn't know. It changed everything. The focus was so strong. That was a moment. That was the beginning of my whole career. From that moment, I've done every single track day I can ever since. That's why I'm here.
All right.
I'm addicted.
So my final question, as we'll load up and you can tell us the story as we continue on the track, is your first Lucky Dog race experience.
Lucky Dog. I've done so many.
Try to remember the first one.
I know. It was at Laguna Seca, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And I believe I was in Matt Wirth's Volvo wagon. And I led for a while. Anyway, I'm a Volvo guy. I have a old Volvo race car of my own. When it was time for me to get my own budget endurance race car, I was driving for Volvo. So, it kind of had to be a Volvo. Plus, I've always loved them anyway. They drive well, they're strong, well-made, good brakes. That was it. Matt Wirth's beat-up Volvo wagon with a stuffed dog looking out the back with his eyes are brake lights.
Yep.
The straightaway is just long enough for that guy in the Mustang to get back by you in the Miata after you worked so hard to pass him in those S's over there. But that's the challenge of Lucky Dog. We've got 3 classes, all kinds of variation in both car speed and driving ability. You got to be smart, you got to keep your eyes open, you got to be careful, and you got to be fast, but not too fast. Because number one job is to survive. 14 hours make your car last. Don't get in a tangle. Watch your mirrors on the straightaway. And don't go in the vortex of danger. The vortex of danger is created when the car ahead of you turns for the corner. If that guy is turned for the corner, he's not looking in his mirrors anymore. He's looking at what? The apex. So we come down this long front straight. We got a fast kink here. Lots of curbing on the left side. So you charge into this. I do a little braking beforehand, go through the kink under a little bit of power to balance the car, Use all of this curb if your car's not too stiff. If your car's stiff, it might bounce around too much and be too risky. Then across the track, you can see right here, we're heading right in a big, big brake zone into an off-camber corner. This is tricky. Don't get aggressive here because the grip is not good because it's off-camber. So you come all the way down to the inside curve and turn this into a beautiful 180-degree sweeper. Don't go out too far because you're just driving too far. You catch this inside apex at the end of it, and you got a steep hill climb because now we're doing the connector back to the east course, back to the main course at Thunderhill. This is super cool. If you're quick around that sweeper, you can carry a lot of speed over this hill and outbrake somebody on the other side. So there's a kink, right, left. You use the little curbs, you kind of straighten that out. It's flat out in almost anything. This flag station on top of the hill is very important because there's a tight 90-degree right on the other side of this hill. So you go all the way right, and then you ease your way back to the left as you come over the top. Ignore the nice view of the Sierra Nevadas in the far distance out there, but keep one part of your brain on that flag. Is there a warning? Now we got a steep downhill brake zone. How well is the car going to stop? Terrible. It's not going to stop well at all. You got to brake earlier than you think. You're going steep downhill. The weight is transferring to the front. Turn in for a late apex 90-degree right. The curb's a little bit sharp. You don't want to hit that one. And the grip is going to be terrible until you get back out on the main circuit. It levels out. The grip gets better. And you immediately track out all the way left and immediately back right. This is Greg Fuss Memorial Corner. He rolled a car right up there on that hillside. Back to the right for a 90-degree left. We're back on the Thunderhill main course. This corner is a little bit earlier apex. You see again, downhill entry. The grip's not that great. Take a little bit of time to get down that apex, and then you can really go because there's banking and the car lands, and you got a short squirt here. Good opportunity to dive bomb that Mustang you've been trying to pass right here. All the way right. This is the slowest corner on the track. Speed all the way down, low in third, maybe even go to second if your car puts power down well. And we come out into the vague no man's land corner. There's a whole lot of new pavement. It's a little bumpy and rough, but if your car can handle it, go right through there. Straighten that sucker out. It's not too bad, and you kind of have to because we're leading on to another long straightaway by Thunderhill standards. Kink left. Fast cars will be struggling for grip a little bit here. It's a little bit off camber. All the way across the road. We got a great weather forecast this weekend. Thunderhill is tricky in the wet because the grip changes so much everywhere you go. But in general, you kind of drive outside lines in the wet. You go outside of the normal driving lines in the wet. We got the paddock on the right side. You can see all the other Lucky Dogs there getting ready for the race weekend. Practice starts pretty soon. Move slowly across the road, check your mirrors, and then check them again. You want to be on the left side of the road, coming into what is turn 14 on the east course numbers. It's a big brake zone, great passing opportunity. We end up all the way on the left side of the road. And you're moving here. You got a lot of speed. But you can brake later than you think if you carry your braking with a light trail brake all the way down into this corner. This is another decreasing radius corner. You can still have a lot of speed at the entry, but you got to keep slowing down and make that late apex. This is a long corner. It's a little more than a 90, very deceptive. Still slow down, still slow down, still slow down, still slow down. Use all the curb. Now you can begin accelerating. Track out all the way or almost all the way left. 2 wheels over the serrated stripe. Pit entrance is right here on the right. Stay right if you're going to the pits. Stay right. Do not track out. But then we've got the second half of turn 14. Very important, leading onto the long front straightaway for another lap of Thunderhill's 5-mile track with the Lucky Dog Racing League National Championship race. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo.
Awesome.
How's that?
Awesome. Thank you, Randy.
That was really good.
See, I talk loud when I'm on camera. Make myself hoarse.
Man, this
Hey,
is...
good morning. How are you? Can I drive your car? No, just kidding. Nice motorhome. He's got one of those cool Mercedes Overlanders. They're all the rage. Here's the budget team with all the tents. I love those people already. What do they got? They got a nice looking BMW with a wing. The variety of cars is amazing. Mostly it's old BMWs and Miatas. Anybody running one of those cars is cheating because they work so well and they're pretty reliable. Now you want to do something special, get a car like this 944 here and put an Audi turbo 5-cylinder in it.
Oh.
This is a great team. Bloody fast car, always well prepared. Look at the aero they got going there. That diffuser is amazing. Good morning. And our electric cart made it back. Who knows, we might be racing electric cars in a few more years.
Well, you do race a Tesla sometimes, right? Or you have?
I have. I've run a Tesla at the Pikes Peak Hill Climb.
How was that?
There's my car. How's it running? Mo, we all right? I think I'm driving that. Morning. Miata, that thing will be here the whole race. They keep running. They're so great to drive. Lightweight, great handling. Here's a V8 powered RX-8. That thing is potentially a real killer.
V8 RX-8.
And there's a
V8
Toyota
RX-7,
Corolla
V6.
FX. I'm one of the only other people on earth that ever raced one of those. E46, he's cheating. Miata, he's cheating. Nissan Sentra, now there's the right attitude. You guys got a V6 in that. Yeah, I heard that. I heard it. Look out for that Sentra. And Volvo, oh yeah. Volvo with anime all over it. I'm digging that.
My Hero Academia.
I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's a Mustang. Good looking car. Holy cow. That thing looks like a virgin. Every panel is straight and shiny. VW Rabbit, that's what I started my national career in autocross. RX-7, MR2. Is this a Camry swap?
Nope.
What?
It's swap.
It probably will be someday. What do you got?
Yeah, we threw the Camry engine away.
What do you have in it?
It's a 3SG. It's a V8 engine. And
V6, 3SG.
What's a 3AG?
It's a 3SG.
3SG.
3SG. What is that? I don't know my Toyota lingo. 4 cylinders?
Yeah, 4-cylinder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good handling car.
Yeah.
I would lower the rear ride height. You got some rake in that thing, and that's,
Yeah.
from what I know about MR2s, they don't want any rake.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
They don't want rake? I
No,
was thinking the opposite.
no, they don't need any help turning those things. Oh, you got a lot of wing though.
Yeah, we just added a fair amount of wing. We put a big straight rear.
Oh, well, the faster you go, the better it'll be. It'll be good over there in turn 8.
Yeah, last year we couldn't take it flat. Now we're easily flat.
Yeah, I believe it.
Good.
You're also going 3 miles an hour slower because all that drag. No, just kidding. That's okay. The straightaways are short here. That's a pretty car. Pretty car.
Which teams are you driving with?
I
Yours.
believe I'm driving a black Volvo, Volvo 780 down here, and I'm in the camouflage BMW E36. It's one of Greg Fuss's cars. And then there's a gray BMW down there they were talking about letting me drive.
Do you remember your car numbers so when we know when you're passing us?
Oh, no, I don't even know. I'll just be looking for a draft. I'll look for that wing. Get up behind that thing in a
You're not
Miata.
driving the Daditas car behind that
Oh.
Volvo?
Yeah? Oh,
The
yeah.
Volvo wagon.
That's our nemesis from last year.
Really? I think I've driven that car before. I love anything Volvo, of course.
Yeah.
I'm a Volvo guy. I'm kind of an everything guy. Hey, how are you?
Good.
I haven't seen any opals yet. I was kind of hoping there'd be an opal here somewhere.
How's your Lexus running?
Yeah, it's a little overpopulated by I think it's running pretty good.
Oh, there's 2 Volvos going over here.
A 142.
Yeah, there have been threats
General
of me
Lee.
driving that, but it hasn't worked out yet.
The broken brake at the ridge, I believe.
What, is that what it was? Yeah. Looks like they're working on it pretty hard right now.
I think they're putting some cameras in it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think they're working on a front-facing and a rearward-facing camera.
Good idea.
Yeah, well,
To show Eric.
yeah.
It wasn't my fault, man.
That's
Good
fine.
morning.
Nope. Mine don't work no more.
Cameras?
I need to buy a new one.
All right,
I
I'm
was
gonna.
have one with one of the guys that was coming with me, and he's a no-show.
Oh, your camera guy.
Well, he had a family emergency happen on Wednesday, and so he couldn't make it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, best wishes for him.
Oh yeah. Yep.
My old friend Ryan's driving your car. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll do a good job for you.
He passed the screaming chickens yesterday.
Very nice.
That's not easy.
No.
That's not easy.
No, not at all. I think he said he had a little bit of help from some slower traffic.
Yeah.
The way they caught him.
Yeah.
He managed to get him on the outside, and then as soon as he said I got around him, I was gone. He said he fought with him for a couple of laps because we're down on horsepower compared to them.
Yeah.
He could get away from us, but I think that Ryan was saying from somewhere about right over here to the very back, sharp 90, he says nobody's got anything on.
Yeah, that's fast S's back there.
Well, all the way from here up over the bypass.
Oh.
From turn 8. So
Oh. The stuff we just did.
yeah, so that car's probably just slow enough where it's close to flat out at turn 8, and then it has the horsepower to continue accelerating up the hill.
Which one?
Yours.
Oh, I'm flat out in turn 8.
Wow. Wing.
Called Stones.
Yeah, that's impressive.
It took me a little bit to get used to it. It took me a few times, but
Yeah.
I'm flat out through there.
Nice.
Last time I brake is coming into 6 here.
Yeah.
And then from there it's just flat out and then hammer the brakes. I'm over driving my entry coming in the crossover. I'm a little bit late on that. I got to work on that a little bit to pick it up, but I think I'll do all right once I get that.
Sweet. And then that run down the hill.
Oh, I love that run down the hill.
Yeah.
As long as it isn't 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you can't see shit from the time you go to hit the bypass.
Oh.
From there clear to the bottom of the hill.
Oh.
That's brutal, isn't it?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Some guy drops a wheel and there's a dust cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything.
I need a picture of these Volvos over here. Excuse me, team.
Let's turn
Well,
things
good
off.
luck to you on
Thank
what
you.
you're going to be running with today.
You too. Yeah, I'm not real sure, but some fun stuff.
Oh yeah, you always do.
I love it.
Press and hold the power button on the side.
Side. There we go.
And then there's locks to lock in place. What are you doing the side button for?
I didn't know what the side button was for. I know mine's like that's the power on mine.